We have breaking news as it's official. Joseph Woll is officially rejoining the Toronto Maple Leafs in a surprising move that changes everything for this team moving forward. We're going to break down exactly what this means for the team and some of the other moves that the team has made over the last 24 hours that has a serious impact on the next few weeks. Some of these moves are pretty interesting. We also have some injury updates to get to in this episode of Leafs Digest. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. We've noticed that about 70% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening with your Toronto Maple Leafs, go down below, hit that free subscribe button because this is the place to be for all your daily Toronto Maple Leafs content. But let's jump right into it. Some great news today and something that I was not expecting, but now that it's come out, it makes perfect sense. Joseph Woll is returning to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs PR just announced this just a few minutes ago at the time of recording this, that Joseph Woll, goaltender Joseph Woll, will be rejoining the team and will resume team activities and on-ice participation as part of the return to play process. Now, keep in mind, first of all, great news. I'm sure we're going to get some type of clarity on what happened and why he took his leave of absence. Not that we're owed anything, and at this point, there's been so much speculation, and whether we find out or not, it doesn't matter. The good news is he is back with the squad, so hopefully everything is okay with Joseph Woll, and I'm excited to see him return to the team. But again, let's keep in mind, this is a guy that missed most of the training camp. He's missed the entire season so far. He's not going to rejoin the team right away. He's going to need a moment to get his conditioning back and to get back into the rhythm. You can see here from James Myrtle, he said that Woll only went on LTIR to temporarily free up some cap room with Tanev out. So it does make sense that the Leafs now, reactivate him today after putting him on LTIR yesterday, because he won't be returning to play anytime soon anyway. He's not going to be able to. You can see here he's eligible to return a week from tomorrow. So he's going to be able to join the team again next Saturday, but he's not going to play for a while still. He needs to get his conditioning up. He needs to get some reps in, stop some pucks, all of that stuff. So we won't see him for a while, but it's going to take him, a bit to get up to speed. But good news is he's going to at least start the process of the return to play. He's going to rejoin the team. So good news there for Joseph Woll. Nice to see this, right ahead of the game tonight. I'm sure we're going to get some type of answer from Craig Berube as well tonight in terms of that. So, he's been away from the team entirely. That's the other thing, since early in training camp. I think he might have played one game in preseason, and obviously he was there for the first couple days of training camp, then took the leave of absence. So nice to see him back. And, Craig Berube was pretty quiet about it yesterday as well. He said, when people were asking about him, what's happening, he said that he doesn't really have an update on Joe. I mean, he's doing fine. Like I said, when he's back, he's back. Is he skating? Is he on the ice? When he's back, he's back. That's all I got. And obviously he's been, brought back today. So we'll see him in due time. We'll see him in about a week. And then, when he gets into a game, I'm not so sure yet, but this has serious implications on the Leafs cap situation now, because you have Caden Primo that you acquired or claimed off waivers in the preseason because of this, right? So what happens with the cap situation now? Something has to give before Joseph Woll plays another game, and when he comes off of LTIR, there's going to have to be a trade. Is it Nick Robertson that would free up, a lot of money? Are you going to keep 3 goaltenders? What's the plan there? Do you trade Caden Primo? There's a lot of teams that could use a goaltender around the league. That'll be pretty interesting to keep an eye on as well. And you can see this for the time being because of Chris Tanev and the fact that Morgan Rielly is out. Probably just for tonight. We got a bit of an update on that as well, which I'll get to in a little bit. They do have some cap space. They have over $3 million, and they had only $19,000 to work with, roughly before that, maybe $21,000 in and around that range. So, let me know in the comments how you feel about Joseph Woll returning to the team. Great news. I don't know if we're going to get an answer on what happened, but I'm sure we'll hear from him soon, probably in a week's time. He'll rejoin the team. He'll get acclimated to everything once again, and I'm sure we'll see him at some point over the course of the next 3 weeks in game action. But what happens with Caden Primo in that time? What would you do? Leave that down below in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say. But some other updates from today as well. Nick Robertson is going to be a healthy scratch for the first time this season in Buffalo. Easton Cowan's coming back in on the third line, which I think is very interesting. And you can see new look lines tonight. I like that third line. Joshua Watt and obviously Easton Cowan there on the right side. You got Cowan buzzing around there. You got 2 bigger bodies in Dakota Joshua and Nicolas Watt beside him. So hopefully that'll help him, not get into any trouble or anything like that. We have Nylander and Matthews playing together. I'm a big believer in the fact that $13 million players don't have to you don't need somebody to help you get going. You should just be going. So Matthews has been puzzling so far this season. McMahon has a better game score in terms of advanced analytics than Matthews this year. So he's going to be going, depending on what model you're looking at. I should specify that as well, but McMahon's going to be up on that top line as well. Nyes moves down to the second line. I wonder what Nyes, Tavares, and Michelli's going to do. Michelli hasn't looked amazing so far this year. There's a lot to like from him. He scored in the last game as well, but it wasn't a great team effort. And then Domi's playing fourth line center, so he has been demoted, whatever you want to call it at this point. The defense looks a little weird. I'm not enjoying the way that this looks. We'll see how it looks on the ice, but Benoit and Myers could be interesting. Mermis is on the second pairing with OEL. We'll see how it plays out. The Leafs just need to come out hard tonight, play a full, complete game, and try to get on the board early, because this is a crucial weekend for the Leafs. And Austin Matthews and a couple guys spoke out, including John Tavares, on personal success in the NHL. I'll get to that in a second, but in terms of Morgan Rielly and his status, he did not skate this morning, and he is dealing with an injury that was sustained on Tuesday, but the hope is that he could actually play tomorrow. So that's an update on Morgan Rielly in terms of that. Again, you see the new look top six. That's going to be in action tonight. Will it stay that way throughout the game? Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see if it ends up staying that way. We also have an update on Scott Laughton, and they said that he is trending very well. And hopefully he's back on the ice with the team very shortly, which would then lead to his return, very shortly after that as well. So let me know in the comments how you feel about the new look lines. Listen, this team nobody has an idea what this team is this year. They are lacking a bit of identity. That is the worst thing in the NHL that you can be lacking. That is the absolute worst thing if you're a team in the NHL, to not have an identity. Nobody really knows what it is yet. Are you tough? It doesn't look that way. Can you score goals? A little bit, but not to a degree that that you look dangerous. Your power play is not good. You also don't even have close. I mean, they're ranked 25th in the league in power play opportunities. And if you look at the Panthers, number 1, for example, it's a little shocking. But if you're in the mix more and the game's a little bit more exciting, maybe there's more action, there's more penalties called and drawn, of course. So the Leafs just got to put their heads down, get to work, and start, drawing penalties as well. They're 25th in just power play opportunities. So to wrap up here, or before we wrap up, Austin Matthews on personal stats versus team success. And this is kind of the mindset heading into this year. I think a lot of people are putting their personal accolades to the side, because the ultimate goal is to win a Stanley Cup with the Leafs. That is the expectation at this point. And I feel like a lot of guys on the team have talked about that. So he said, I think not accomplishing the team goal, you're still left with the same feeling, regardless if you score 100 goals or if you score 20. You know what I mean? You're just in the same spot of emotions, feeling like you didn't accomplish what you really set out to accomplish. And then John Tavares kind of echoed that and said, I haven't won a Stanley Cup, Stats like 500 goals are great. That's the ultimate goal. And I cannot believe John Tavares has 500 points, over 500 points with the Toronto Maple Leafs alone. Only 5 other players have done that in NHL history, scored 500 points with 2 different teams. I cannot believe it's already been that long, first of all, and that he has that many points with the Leafs, but ultimately no Stanley Cup. So tonight is a big step in terms of who are you as a team this year. We'll see what the Leafs do tonight. Let me know in the comments how you feel about Joseph Woll returning, some of the new lines, and what you think of Craig Berube and what he's done so far this season. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything going on with the Toronto Maple Leafs.